In this video I'm going to go over how to clean and lubricate the slides on a Craftsman toolbox as well as the drawers. This only applies to the toolboxes that have slides. It doesn't apply to the ones that have the nice ball bearing slides. This is for the older style box only. I'm also going to show you how to remove the slides completely and remove the drawers. So let's go over the things that you'll need. First you'll need some sort of solvent. I use carb cleaner, it works really well. You can use whatever type of solvent you want. You'll also need some sort of oil. I'll cover a little bit more about that later in the video. There's multiple types of oils and people have different opinions on it, but we'll cover that later. You will need paper towels or a toothbrush or something like that to kind of scrub them a little bit usually. And you will need a small, thin, flat-bladed flathead screwdriver. And that is pretty much everything you need. Alright, as you can see right here, this box is old. It's been sitting out in a shed for years, hasn't had any use in a long time. It's kind of dusty. These drawers just do not slide well. They're extremely loud, they stick everywhere, they're kind of nasty, but we will show you in this video how to get that all taken care of and make them good as new. Alright, so let's get started. First thing you're going to want to do is open the drawer all the way. Once the drawer is open all the way, grab your thin flat-bladed screwdriver. It's got to be a pretty small one. It has to fit in that little triangle slot right there. What you're going to do is stick it in there. There's a tab. That triangle slot is actually the stop. So there's a tab that's poking out from the inside of the box. You're going to get the screwdriver between the slide and the tab and push. As you rotate the screwdriver, it will push the tab into the box and you'll be able to remove the slide, just like you can see there. It does help to push the drawer back just about a 1/16 of an inch, or sometimes that tab will get stuck on the stop, the little triangle stop right there, when you rotate it. So just have a tiny bit of clearance. You can see me doing it right there, and that will allow you to get the screwdriver in, kind of twist it to push the tab in, use the slide as leverage, and then pull it out. Once you do that to both sides, you can pull the drawer straight out. Here's a short clip of the tabs themselves. The ones that are on the inside of the drawer, the ones that you have to bend back. Just wanted to show you what they look like so you know what you're dealing with before you get started on that. They're pretty simple. They're just punched out metal from the drawer itself. If you push on them real hard with your thumb, you can actually bend them that way. But screwdriver is always the easy way to get them out. There's the slide itself, still attached to the box. You can see that one's real dirty. Got a lot of paint and debris and stuff on it. Right here you can see the slide still attached to the box. You can see that there's multiple slots. You can actually move these drawers around if you wanted to do something like that. But it is basically the exact same thing. There is a tab and a little triangle slot, which is the stop for you to be able to get a screwdriver in. And I will show you how to do that right now. Removing the slide from the box is exactly the same as removing the drawer from the slide. Get your screwdriver in that triangle slot, give it a twist, and use the slide as leverage to pry back the tab, and then pull the tab out, and it'll pop right out. I actually removed the slide off camera, just popped the tab out, because it was too difficult to hold the camera while trying to manipulate the screwdriver and the slide and everything at the same time. But as you can see, the slide just pulls straight out, and you can see the tabs that hold it in place that you need to bend back. As you can see here, these slides are filthy. There's debris and dirt all over them, there's paint on them, there's all sorts of stuff on them, and that is why those drawers were so terrible opening and closing. The next step in getting these slides working like new again is just to clean them. As you can see here, I'm just using brake clean on a shop towel, and I'm using quite a bit of it because there's a lot of gunk on these things. And basically all you need to do is use whatever solvent you want. You can use a toothbrush, whatever type of towel you want, and just scrub them really well. Make sure you scrub in that channel really well. That's one of the main contact points. Also get the outside edges of the channel and the top of the channel. Those are going to be the key areas that you need to clean, but just try and get everything off as well as you possibly can. Look at all the gunk that came off just that one slide. As you can see here, These are nice and clean. All the gunk and debris and paint and everything has been removed, and that is exactly what we're looking for. The last thing we need to clean is the tabs on the inside of the box that hold the slide. They are actually one of the main culprits for drawers not opening smoothly or opening halfway and then not opening smoothly. So make sure you get these really clean, top and bottom. Get all 4 of them, 2 on each side, and that will definitely help with the drawers opening and closing nicely. I almost forgot, we need to clean the drawer also. We need to clean the little rails on the drawer that the slide goes into. For this I just used same shop towel. You can use a toothbrush, Q-tip, whatever you want, anything that'll get in there. Paper towels seem to work well. I just made sure I forced it in there. Got those grooves nice and clean. Got to make sure you get those clean also to make the drawer work properly. Alright, now that everything's clean, it's ready for some lubricant. Now what to lubricate these slides with is kind of a big debate. Depends on who you ask. What I can tell you is that I've tried pretty much everything shown here, from the 3-in-1 oil to the ceramic wax lubricant for bike chains, white lithium grease, ball bearing grease, dry lube, garage door lube, tri-flow, you name it, I've tried it. What I have actually found the best luck with is just 3-in-1 oil. It seems to work really well. Put it on there a little bit thick. It lubricates the drawers really well. They slide really nice. It works much better, in my opinion, than white lithium grease or ball bearing grease, and it works for sure better than dry lube or anything like that. The one thing I will say about that is that it is a wet oil, and wet oils do collect dust. That is one of the main reasons that people use dry lube. Dry lube will not collect nearly as much dust, so if dust is a concern of yours, you might want to use a dry lube, but I have had the best luck by far with just 3-in-1 oil. Works better than Tri-Flow. It's a little bit thicker. You need somewhat of a thicker oil. WD-40 doesn't work well at all, but that is my recommendation. If you're in an area that has tons of dust or your toolbox is outside or something like that, you should probably use a dry lube, but dust is not a concern of mine in my garage. If I have to do this again in 5 or 7 years, not really a big deal to me, and I've done it quite a few times, so that is my recommendation. But like I said, maybe give it a try, maybe give a couple different things a try, see what works best, and stick with that. Dry lube is a big recommendation, and white lithium grease is a big recommendation, but I have definitely found that 3-in-1 oil works much better than any of those. To oil the slides, it's pretty simple. Just make sure that you get the channel really well. The main channel is going to be one of the main contact points. Also get the outer edges of the channel, inner edges of the channel. Just get some oil or whatever lubricant you're using everywhere and make sure that's coated pretty well. It doesn't need to be soaked and running off, but just make sure it gets coated pretty well. And make sure you do both sides, top and bottom. They are all contact points. The next thing we need to lubricate is the rails on the drawer. I'm just using a paper towel, some 3-in-1 oil on it again. Make sure that you get it all the way down into the grooves on the rails with whatever lubricant or grease you decide to use, and make sure that you do both sides, top and bottom. The next thing that we need to lubricate are the tabs or the slides on the inside of the box. Make sure that you get those lubricated real well all the way inside on the base of them. Both sides, top and bottom, and if you only take one drawer out, the tabs that the slide will go back into are always going to be the top set. Alright, now that everything's lubed up, we are ready to put slides back in the box. You'll notice that there is a little triangle tab. That tab, the part that is popped up, goes toward the inside wall of the box. It doesn't matter which slide goes on which side, just that the triangle tab is popped up toward the side of the box that you're installing it on. That is what catches on the tab and keeps the slide from falling out. So you just put it in both of the tabs or the grooves on the side and give it a firm push while you hold the box, and it will pop into place and lock in on that tab. You can see that they're both locked in now. Now we can install the drawer. To do this, just line the notches or the grooves on the side of the drawer up with the notches in the slide, the little channels in the slide. Push it in a little bit on both sides. As you push and wiggle it in, you might have to hold the slides and push the drawer in. There will be a stopping point when you get to the tabs. Just hold the slide firmly and push the drawer into place There will be a popping noise, and that is the tab sliding into place and catching over the stop. Slide the drawer in and all the way out a few times. Make sure that it stops where it's supposed to and it's catching on the stops. As long as it does that, you're done. It may be a little bit difficult to tell in the video, but this drawer is actually working substantially better than it did before. It doesn't hang up or bind or anything, and if I push it with a little bit of force, it actually slides and closes all the way by itself. It's much better than it was before. If you found this video helpful, please be sure to like and subscribe, and hopefully this helped you with any of your old Craftsman toolboxes.